All right, guys, this is gonna be a quick video explanation of how to do the problems on this worksheet. So 1 through 9 is just computation. You have to recognize the angle pair. You might have to refer to these 5 types of angle pairs that's on the graphic organizer. Understanding the key information, key relationship to get to the answer. So, for example, the first one here, these are vertical angles, angles that are across from each other. Sorry, my pen is not working. Let's try it. I'm probably have to pause this. Are congruent. So x here is 112. On 2, you have adjacent and they're also complementary, because if you look, let me see if it's going to connect. Dang it. Nope, sorry. There's a box right here. So that's indicating 90. So to get that x, you just have to do 90 minus 68. So you get 22. Okay. Then on 3, they're adjacent and on a line. So this is linear pair, which are supplementary. So if you look, because they're, and whenever another clue to help you with your supplementary, dang, my pen will not work, sorry, is that you're always going to have an acute angle. I apologize for some of this writing. And you're going to have an obtuse angle. So they're supplementary, which means they're equal 180. So you just subtract from 180 and you'll get your answer. X is 56. Okay. Now, if you have multiple lines intersecting, always try to find your vertical first. Damn, I don't think this thing's going to connect. So right off the bat, I'm given the angle 43 degrees. I look across to find my vertical. Y is the vertical right here. They're across from each other. They're going to be congruent. So y is 43. Then use your linear pair. So x and z are vertical, but z and 43 or y and x are linear pairs. So to get those answers, so I know these two are going to be the same, I just got to do 180. That's supposed to be 180, guys. Sorry. Minus 43. So 5 is similar to that. Oh, where's my pen? Start with your vertical, then move to a linear pair, and then you have a complementary because you have that box. So because we have this box right here, that means over here is also 90. So to get the z, you would do 90 minus 72. So try those. And 6 through 9 is also computation, but they give you the key information, or at least the vertical pair. So here are verticals, so you should know the answer is congruent. Here we have complementary, so the sum is 90. When you add them up, 90. So you just subtract to get the missing one. Here is supplementary, sum is 180. Here is linear pair, sum is 180. All right, so just a second. That takes care of the first half. Then we get into algebra. English, right here. All right, so for this section, we're now using algebra. So you still have to identify the angle pair, just like we did today in class, where these are across from each other. So these are vertical angles. I'm going to abbreviate that. Vertical angles relationships are they're congruent. And that allows you to set up the equation. So this 3x plus 47 is going to equal to 6x minus 25. So you're going to solve for x, and then make sure you plug it back in because it's wanting you to find the measure of SQR. So start with, I guess, eliminate your smallest variable here. All right, end up with 47 equals 3x minus 25. You're going to have to add the 25 on both sides, which will leave you with 72 equals 3x. And then divide by 3. So x is 24. Okay, so x is 24, but you now have to plug it back in to SQR. Angle SQR was this expression 6x minus 25. So that means 6 times 24 minus 25. This comes out to be 119. Okay. So this is kind of what you're having to do on this section on. There's a couple where you're going to have to understand the expression, translate the expression to the equation. But like the key information on 11 is them telling you it's perpendicular. Once I do that, DCE here, that would be here. And then we have CBE, x plus 8. So these are complementary angles, and they equal 90. That helps you set up your equation. On 12 here, I kind of try to highlight them to hopefully make you recognize this is a linear pair, and it equals 180. So try that. Don't forget to plug it back in to find the angle measure. Now let's talk about the back. All right, so on the back here, now we're finding the values for x and y, but we have, again, a linear pair. Trying to highlight these angles for you. So we're starting off with the linear pair, which means they equal 180. So let me just change this real quick. So this DEG, this is my yellow angle right here, that 5x minus 4. I'm going to add that to this adjacent 7x minus 8 and make that equal 180. So we're going to find x, and then we're going to plug that in to find y. So here, I would need to combine my like terms. Okay. My x's come out to be 12x minus 12 for my constants equals 180. Now I'm just going to add the 12 to both sides till I isolate the x term. I'm going to come up here. My 12x is now equal to 192. And then if I divide by 12 on each side, my x is 16. So I'm going to now use that to find the y. So DEH is this angle here, which is vertical to this. I probably should have did blue and blue. DEH is here. It's vertical to this angle. So I know these two, the GEF and the DEH, are congruent. So I can plug in my x back into GEF. So that means I'm doing my 7 times x, which was 16, minus 8, and it's going to equal, excuse me, it's going to equal to its vertical angle, which was 9y plus 5. Well, this comes out to be 104, so now I have the equation to solve for y. Okay. All right, so 11 and 15, they pretty much tell you what type of angles they are. If they're complementary, they equal 180, so you're adding R and S to equal 180. Add this up to get your equation. Here's supplementary. So that's kind of very similar to the front. Don't want to go over those. I'm going to talk about 16 and 17 because this is something you're going to have to translate. It says right here that the measure of angle 2 is 6 more than twice the measure of angle 1. We do not know what angle 1 is, so we're gonna represent angle 1 with x. We're going to substitute that for x. So now I'm going to translate angle 2 showing 6 more than twice angle 1. Twice angle 1 would be 2x. 6 more than that would be plus 6. So now I have my expression for angles 1 and 2. And I'm now just going to, since they're linear pair, add them together. And it will equal to 180. Okay. Combine your like terms. So we really have 3x plus 6 equals 180. Solve for x. Hopefully you get x equals 5 here. And then plug it back in to find the measure of angle 2. Okay. Now on 17, we have complementary angles, so that equals 90, the sum. But it says here as well, J is 18 less than the measure of angle K. Well, I don't know the measure of angle K, so that's going to be my x. And my angle J is 18 less than that, so that's x minus 18. Sorry about that. They're complementary, so we're doing x plus x minus 18 equals 90 for complementary. Same thing, solve for x, combine your like terms, you get 2x minus 18 equals 90, and then solve for x. Really 2x is going to end up equaling 108. Divided by x, x is 54. We're taking this answer because they want us to find the measure of each angle. Well, k is the 54. J is 18 less than that, which would be 36. Okay. All right, on these last couple, we got to make sure we fully understand what bisect means. Because it says this UW bisects, this is going to give you two congruent angles. The angle here for over here for TUW, and the angle for WV. So that means this 13x minus 5 is going to equal the 7x plus 31. Okay. Now, the difference between 18 and 19, I'm dealing with a bisector. We still have MO as the bisector. But here, PMN, that represents the whole angle. 74. Well, that means I can divide it up to get the measure of each angle, and then and use that. Or they also give me this OMN, which is the part here. So there's two ways. I can split up the whole and get 37 here for each angle, or I can say I can double the part and make it equal the whole. So it just depends on which way you want to solve this, but you need to solve it for x. And then again, we have EF bisects CEB, so arc and arc on each side of the bisector. And then we're going to label the fact that CEF here is the 7x plus 21, and FEB is the 10x minus 3. That's the two congruent parts. So we're doing part equals part. Now find your x, but make sure you plug it back in to find the angle. All right, if you still are stuck after this video, be ready to ask questions before you turn in your homework. Thank you.